Welcome to another episode of Fearless Focus. I'm your host, Mimi Evans, the owner-operator of Fearless Bookkeeping Services. Today, what we're going to talk about is the importance of having expense management systems. Nobody likes to talk about it. I understand. However, we all need to keep our receipts, please. Please. At the end of the day, keeping receipts in a shoebox or in an envelope are good in the beginning, maybe if you've got a handful, but that easily becomes crazy over time, like insane. Like you come with me with a folder and it's overflowing and receipts are falling on the floor. And yes, it's just a little chaotic. Now, the reason for using a system, and it doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it also doesn't have to even be paid, is because at the end of the year, it would be a lot nicer to your tax preparer and for yourself if you weren't searching through a bag of receipts. Interestingly enough, those receipts also fade over time. So do you know how hard it is to try to figure out what that receipt is when half of it is gone? Half of it is gone? It's not fun. So here are some suggestions on how you can do this, both from a free version and a paid version, and the importance of it. If you're a small business, we should know the importance. Let me not make assumptions. We should know the importance, and that's the IRS. That's point blank period. Whenever you're in an audit, the first thing that they're going to ask for is documentation to substantiate the expense. Well, where's the receipt? That is the documentation right there. Now, a lot of people will say, well, they sent it to my email. Okay. Do you know how long it'll take for you to go through your email for every single expense during the audit? Too long. Way too long. And all it does is continue to raise the suspicion that there's something to be found. So here's some solutions. Here's one that's super easy, and most people can do this on their phone. Create a shared album. Whether you have an Android or an iPhone, this is possible. Create a shared album and take a picture of your receipt and dump them in there. Just put everything in there. And then share that with your tax preparer and or your spouse. This makes it super easy so that at the end of the year, everything is in one place. Now, granted, it's not going to be organized or cataloged the way we would like, but it's better than a box full of receipts. Because here's the thing, digitally saved means that we can see the data this year and 5 years from now. Now, that's the free version. There's paid versions as well. You could use something like File or Expensify and connect your credit card to the account, and you can text your receipts that way because it connects to QuickBooks. Also, by the way, if you have QuickBooks, there's a receipt capture feature within the app. You can go ahead and put it in that shared album once a week like I do. I do this myself. I put it in a shared album. Once a week, I go through that album and I attach them to the expenses in my QuickBooks feed. Makes it super simple for me when it's time to reconcile. Now, what this does for your tax preparer is it helps answer some questions. Because I don't know if you know this, but you can buy a lot of things from Amazon. Well, you probably do know this. I know this. I mean, we all do it. We buy a bunch of different things. So when you have an Amazon purchase, how do we know, for instance, if you're a pool service company, how do we know that the purchase wasn't office supplies versus pool supplies? Same with remodelers. How do we know that it's not something for your truck or something for a project? We don't. We need the receipts. So there's ways to do this. It's not fun. I'm not saying it's fun. We can make it fun. We can turn it into a game. I've done that too. We can do that too. But at the end of the day, please make sure that you're saving your receipts in a way that will store them safely and securely, and that we can get the images from them on a regular basis. Did you also know that some tax preparers will charge you more the more work that they have to do to create your return? So not only are you costing yourself money by not having these receipts in timely, you're kind of losing a lot of time and frustration. And I'll be honest, I don't know anybody who wants to come out of the holidays annoyed. Like, to a degree, I get it. There's some people during the holidays, like, you're annoyed already. So it only makes it worse. But for some of us, the holidays are a very joyful and thankful time. Let's continue that out through the first quarter of the year by making sure that our expenses are recorded. I hope that you'll like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in our bio to learn how to connect more.